So, welcome to my new YouTube channel. And I don't know who I'm speaking to yet, but that's okay. I know that these things take time. And I wanted to come on here and kind of explain a bit about who I am and a little bit about my story. So, prior to October 2023, I had about 3,000 followers on Instagram. And I posted about social issues, mainly US healthcare, women's issues, sexual assault, things like this. Also Palestine. But for the most part, my channel was completely dedicated to just documenting my own life and whatever I was doing. But after October 2023, that's when I decided to dedicate my page almost entirely to advocating for Palestine and against the genocide that was unfolding. There are so many decisions that I made over the past 2 years, but I guess especially in those first months, that I didn't know what was on the other side of them, but I was just trying to do the right thing. And I knew that it wasn't even a choice for me. It was just a moral obligation, considering I was a healthcare worker and there was no way to be silent. At the time, I was still employed at Mount Sinai healthcare system as a sexual assault forensic examiner, and I was also finishing my nurse practitioner at that point at Hunter College. And when I made the decision to start posting very strongly for Palestine, I figured that eventually I would lose my job at Mount Sinai. And I just felt like whatever happens, come what may, this is the right thing to do. And it was hard at that point to even find anyone else, especially in my life, who was a healthcare worker and was speaking about this. There was utter silence. So there were many people in my life at that point who advised me to just keep it more, I don't know, on the DL until I finished my degree. But that was such a far way off. That wasn't even an option for me. I figured at that point, I'm eventually gonna get fired, but it is what it is. I'll figure it out. And that's what happened. I eventually did lose my job after a well-orchestrated doxing campaign from former colleagues, as well as a witch hunt by the New York District Attorney's Office. And I don't think at that point I realized just how deep inside the Zionist hornet's nest I was, like at all. After I got subpoenaed by the New York District Attorney's Office to testify for a rape case that I had done the year before, I had collected the evidence for and done the forensic exam for. That was actually the first time I ever testified for any sexual assault case in my entire 4.5, 5 years as a sexual assault forensic examiner. And you might think that it's just, or maybe even at that point I thought as well, it's just incompetence that is at the heart of why New York does not prosecute sexual assault cases. Well, it's not at the heart. It's literally, this is their orchestrated strategy. So everyone speaks about that, how Israel is a pedophile safe haven and sexual assault safe haven. Well, New York City is one and the same. And out of the hundreds of cases that I had done, I had only gotten called for one. It's not a coincidence. Actually, when I got subpoenaed to come back to New York, I was in Palestine at that point, actually. She subpoenaed me, the ADA, and I think I had gotten back from the West Bank the day before, and just, my whole world my whole everything was just shattered by the brutal occupation of seeing it in person. And I went into the New York District Attorney's office with my keffiyeh on and walked right in there and just acted like it, that was just, it was the most normal thing in the world. Yeah, that district attorney, she wasn't just a Zionist. She was the type of Zionist that was at the Sheryl Sandberg fake rape hearings at the UN. And the New York District Attorney's office, actually, it's not just, they're not just out there prosecuting crimes and trying to get the bad guys. No, they are an essential pillar in upholding the criminal state of Israel. How, you ask? Well, they protect the most powerful people on the planet who are abusing children, as in Jeffrey Epstein and his co-conspirators. New York had a very prominent role in all of this. So actually, the video that probably got me slandered as a rape apologist by the New York District Attorney's office and eventually led to me getting terminated and also being told that I was the reason why the victim that I testified for did not receive the rape conviction was the video that I did explaining my role as a sexual assault forensic examiner, speaking about this fake rape hoax and the evidence that they provide. It would never stand in court. This ADA should know that. This ADA should know that the evidence that the New York Times and all of these propaganda outlets, state propaganda outlets, were supplying for us was literal bunk. She should know it. But no, apparently she doesn't. And maybe that's the reason why she didn't get the rape conviction in that case. So after that video, I grew my platform on Instagram and went from 3,000 followers to almost 100,000 followers. And I guess I found that I had a knack for exposing corruption and calling out these powerful people that are literal criminals, and also doing it with some humor. But I regularly considered how much money I was making for Meta, like how many millions of views. And I guess I also realized that I had more than 3 minutes to say. 3 minutes is the allotted time, essentially, that Instagram gives you to speak. So that's all to say that I am taking a leap here by starting a YouTube channel, but I hope to use this channel to cover topics in a way that others just can't. I hope to use my background, skills, and experience to cover topics that are important to me and interesting and timely. A lot of these topics are very personal to me, and I hope to reflect that in my reporting. I plan to use this channel to do talks like this, to do investigations, to do interviews, to do more vlog type videos. And yeah, so if there's ever anything that you want me to talk about or cover, I am very open to that. And we're just going to see what we learn and uncover together. So thank you for being here. And yeah, I'm excited. Let's go.